I mean, not surprised, but
you guys have a funny story about
8
your
years.
first date.
Yeah, first date.
Had to deal with Starbucks too.
So Brock was really persistent about going on a date. He really wanted to take me for sushi. He really wanted to go out. But I was at a point in my life where I was like, I hate all dudes. And I think probably they're all terrible. That's just where I was.
We've all been there.
So he was like really persistent. And I said, okay, I'll go. But I have anxiety, so I like to drive myself anyway. But then I was like, what if he was a murderer? I can't get into his vehicle. I don't know
that's
him.
A legit concern
And
these days.
it's not like back in the day where you would like have tons of social media or like really communicate that way. This was like back when he had a flip phone. Okay, he had a flip phone and he would like text like 1111 to get to A. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh gosh. I
So
remember those days.
it wasn't as easy to communicate or really get to know someone or really stalk someone on the internet.
Yeah.
So he asked me on this date through MySpace.
Shout out to MySpace.
Shout out to MySpace. And I was like, okay, I'll meet you. I said, let's meet at the Starbucks.
Yeah.
Well, I meant like meet there so we could drive like and go where we were going. Like I would follow him or he would follow me. And he thought that I meant we were going to go into Starbucks. So when I got to Starbucks, I had already got my coffee and come out.
Yeah.
And he said that he didn't tell me this till years later that he saw me come out of Starbucks. He's like, why would she go in to our date and have coffee by herself in Starbucks? But I wasn't thinking about it that way. So we went to sushi and it was good and it was fine. My mom had actually had surgery when I met him, so she gave me a list of things to get for Easter baskets. And I was like, okay, bye, at the end of our date at the end of eating. And he was like, oh, what are you up to after this? And I told him I had to shop for Easter baskets. And he was like, I'll go with you. Biggest trooper.
So
we were like
strange.
Walmart, Target, Michael's. We had to do all this list for her.
Is that how you knew he was the one
and I
at
was
that
like,
point?
I was like, okay, he seems pretty legit at this point. So we'll let him hang around. Yeah, so that was a weird first date all around.
So funny.
Mostly because he thought I was such a weirdo for getting myself coffee and walking out and being like, all right, let's go to dinner. Let's do
Where are
it.
we going? Okay.
What else do
You
got?
have 3 kids.
Yes, I do.
3 daughters. We touched on that last time.
3 little ladies.
Brothers and sisters.
1 sister, 1 brother,
Okay.
all musicians.
2 parents.
2 parents, all musicians.
All musicians. Okay, now for some fun, random questions.
Okay, I'm ready.
What's the funniest thing that has happened to you recently?
Recently?
Yes.
Besides the chili and the
Oh,
chili
okay,
powder?
that's pretty funny.
Yeah, I
okay.
think that
Anything besides
that's
that?
very fresh.
Yes.
That's very
okay.
recent.
So we'll just say that you
Yeah,
answered that one
for
already.
sure.
Most embarrassing moment, and this doesn't have to be recent.
Oh, there's a couple pretty bad ones, but
really?
Okay. I can't
PG
I
rated.
can't tell the worst one because it's just too much to give to the world. So I will tell one that happened
I can't
probably
wait to
about a
hear
year
that
ago.
one now.
I
Okay.
will tell it to you, but
Give us the PG
not here.
one.
So I was taking my daughter Lily to her psychologist
Yeah.
appointment. And it was someone that we had never met, brand new. And I had like one of those backpack purses, and I had come from work, so I was wearing like a cute skirt and top and some boots. And my little backpack purse was next to me on the floor, and he said to me like, oh, hi, nice to meet you. Can you come on back? So I stood up to meet him, and I pulled my purse strap was wrapped around my leg, but I didn't know. So I lifted the purse, and my entire skirt went up. And this is a guy I have never met before. And
Wow.
Lily, the poor child, is looking at me
In slow
and
motion.
she's like, "Are you serious?" And I was like, "Oh, this is an example of who I am. So sorry." So I put the purse back down, and then I go to walk, and I trip because it was
my
still
gosh.
around the ankle. So,
How did you recover from that?
I
did he laugh?
He laughed. I laughed. I looked at Lily, who was definitely embarrassed. She's like, "This is my mom, of course." But I basically said to him, like, "This is me. This is who I am as a person, and this is just one of the regular everyday things that go on in my life. So I'm sorry that you saw my underwear today." But let's just go in and have a serious talk now about my daughter. Let's just skip right to the serious. Let's do our best.
Did the rest of the session hopefully go
He was fine.
pretty well? Yeah.
It was great. I was super embarrassed, but we
I'm
made
sure
it.
he's seen a lot worse.
We made
being
it
a
through. We made it through.
Psychologist.
But
so
yeah.
He's being like, oh my gosh, I can see why they need help.
He's like, this girl.
Okay, so one thing I know about you, Julie, is that you don't really prefer like physical touch, and I mean like a hug upon meeting somebody for the first time. My husband was actually the one who got Julie on board with our worship team at church, and he is a huge hugger. Like
Huge.
he loves people, and
Oh,
I'm very
man.
reserved when it comes to people. Like I'm very not trusting
He
at
really,
first.
he really,
he really went in
he
for
really
that hug.
tested it.
So how do you prefer someone to console you when you're upset?
Oh, it's a hard one.
Like, do you actually like hugs at that point, or leave me alone?
Sometimes I it depends on who you are. I'm sorry. I'm so
Sure.
picky about hugs. I actually am more of like a need some time to kind of deal with whatever it is I'm going through and work through it and process it kind of a person.
Yeah.
Whether it's like really being upset or being anxious or devastated or whatever that is. I tend to do that. I tend to talk things out better. Or, you know, when you're crying and you're like talking or crying.
Between sobs
Yeah,
and
that too.
snot. Yeah.
But it depends. Like there are certain people that I feel okay with like getting a hug and consoling. But I'm terrible at it. It's actually one of the things in therapy that I'm working on is that I have to
Really?
like, she said I have to hug people for 5 seconds.
But why?
I guess to like
it's
work like what is
ahead.
the reason, the underlying reason as to why I'm just not a hugger. I don't know what exactly it is. So I guess I'm just testing it to see if it's really something I need to work through or if it's just who I am as a human.
Yeah, I guess there's two sides to that because I feel like if you don't like to be touched that way, like my mom doesn't really like to be massaged or,
Right.
you know, she likes to be hugged by certain people. And I think that's okay because we all receive and give love differently. I mean, I'm
Yes.
sure everybody's read the 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. And I think to me, that's okay to not want to be hugged.
Sometimes
by
I just
certain
want someone
people.
to sit with.
Right.
Like it doesn't even have to be like talking or anything like that. I want someone to sit next to me or I just want someone to be like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm here, or even a text or a phone call or a FaceTime, you know, things like that. Those mean a lot to me. Like investing in people and communicating with them are really important to me.
Yes. And I think for girls too, communication, like when I'm upset, I want to talk to my husband about it. I don't really want to hug it out.
Right.
You know, I almost feel trapped when I'm hugged by somebody. I'm like, okay, that's enough.
And then I'm like, how long has this been?
Yes. How long should it be? You know, is there
Yeah.
like a certain time frame that hugging should be under?
They say that like over 6 seconds is like what your brain needs to activate the happiness of a
Really?
hug. But sometimes it's like
Never
people
heard that.
over 20 seconds.
Oh.
No. That I promise like
No.
that will never no one hug me for that
Absolutely
time.
not.
Big on high fives. I love a good high five.
Yeah.
I love a good pound,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
But no, just
You know what I like?
like a hug.
It's funny. I like the forearm touch. Do you know what that is?
Like this?
No, when somebody like just touches me on the forearm.
Oh, yeah.
Or a shoulder touch.
I'm okay with that.
That I'm okay with.
That to me feels like they care about me, but they don't.
Yeah.
They understand that I don't want to hug.
I don't want to hug.
Exactly,
Right.
yeah.
I don't like a full on embrace.
Yeah, and when we pray before worship, we like get into a circle.
Yes.
And everybody like puts their arms around each other, and it is
That
a
bothers you?
struggle. It is a struggle for me.
Worship
Because
team, now you know.
I love it and I want to be a part of it, but it's just like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm just gonna hold this coffee. I'm gonna be a part of it. I'm gonna be near
I
you.
noticed that when you hold your coffee and I'm like, I'm holding you like this. Like, why?
Guys,
do
it's
I
not
smell?
because I don't love you. It's because I have a hug issue.
I totally get it. Or like holding hands and all that. I don't
No,
know.
not a big fan.
But I totally get that. Also, when hugging, there's a few people that I know that hug like where they're going to suffocate you and it hurts to hug them.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to tell them, like, dude, you're hugging me too hard.
Where
I
your
can't
arm out
breathe.
immediately. Like, no, do not come
I
near
will
me.
not hug you today. Okay.
What's next?
Oh, this is actually, I don't remember putting this one down.
Oh.
Who was the last person to make you cry and why?
Oh.
Wow, that's really personal, Des.
That is real.
Wow.
That's real personal. Getting
That's
real deep.
really deep. Why did I put that one there?
Man,
If you can answer it, do
I
it.
definitely am
You can
an
pass.
emotional human for sure. And I carry other people's
Pain?
yeah, definitely. Like
Okay.
if I know someone
like Steve.
I love is hurting, or I just like absorb that for them and I feel with them. But sadly, people close to me are the last people that have made me cry.
Or the last people?
Yeah,
Okay.
really close.
Oh, okay,
like,
the last people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some close people that I don't want to call them out, but
No, of course.
You know, life is difficult,
Yeah.
and sometimes closest people to us will hurt us, and that's just life. And of course, like I'm sensitive, so I take things differently or misunderstand totally. But yeah. I also did cry yesterday when the kittens were left. And
Oh, yes. Julie rescued some kittens.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
yeah, I didn't personally find them. They were just brought to me. Somebody had left 4 kittens in our outdoor playground at my job, and they were clearly left by a human. And they were all little, don't know when they ate, and I was so emotionally upset for the fact that these poor kittens, if they hadn't been found by a little kid like going to play, they would have been in there and probably like suffocated from the heat. And it was just that alone was killing me inside. I was like, these poor little helpless little cats. Like, how do you
so
just look at them and you're like, I'm
terrible.
just going to leave them here and hope that they're
Right.
found? Like, there's so many places that you can surrender a cat, or now social media, like put that up there. Like, hey, my cat had kittens. Anybody interested or anything like that? But please don't leave animals outside. Please, please, please.
Yeah, it's very inhumane.
It's terrible.
But you found good homes for them.
We did. They all found homes. And we have one now. Her name is Winifred.
So you took one, of
We
course.
did.
How many animals do you have?
We have one cat, one dog, and now baby cat.
Did your dog get
her name's Winnie?
Oh, that's so cute.
Winifred. Yeah, she's so cute. She's all black. She has blue eyes right now, which will probably change to green. And she's going to go see the vet on Monday. We'll see how healthy she is.
Oh,
And she's
that's
been eating and
good.
drinking, though. So she's doing well. She's active. And I just, that made me sad.
Did your dog end up getting the haircut that she's so
She's
desperately
getting
needed?
a haircut. She's getting an appointment on Monday for her shot, and then she will get a haircut. Because right now she looks homeless. she
You showed
looks
me that
real
picture.
home.
She's like a little Yorkie dog.
Yeah, she's making me feel real guilty.
That's
Every
so
time I look at her,
funny.
I'm like, I know.
Like, can she
know.
see at
I know
least?
she probably feels embarrassed because
Yeah.
you know how you just feel terrible about your hair? I feel like she's
Yeah.
walking around like, I'm having a day. I'm having a month.
Like, oh my gosh, get me a new owner.
That was kind of a way around the question, but I kind of answered it.
Yes, you did. Totally. Okay, so what's your favorite thing you own and why? I know you own a lot of things, lots of hats that you just gave away, lots of shoes that I
love shoes.
inherited a
I
pair
love
of
hats.
those.
I love fashion as a whole.
Yeah,
for sure.
Very fashionable.
Oh, I'd have to say, if there are 3 things in the world that as a girl I just think are important for me personally.
Good pair of shoes.
Always a good pair of shoes.
Absolutely.
Good jacket. And a good lipstick. I really do love mascara as a side note, but I just think that when you put something on, like one piece of clothing that's like your empower, or like you call it your power shoes or your power jacket or whatever, it just gives you that extra boost. Maybe you're having a rough morning. Like I do this. Like I'm having a really rough morning. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to stick on that red lipstick and I'm going to be fine. I'm just going to
take
power
on the day.
I'm going to power through. So yeah, I think
Yeah.
a leather jacket though would be my go-to number one
You
thing.
have some really cool leather jackets.
I'm about the leather jackets.
Yeah, and I think when you look good, you feel good.
Yeah,
in a sense. I mean, if
absolutely.
you're feeling depressed and anxious, so those people that deal with that, just getting out of bed and taking a shower.
Yep.
Doing your hair. If you're a girl, put some makeup on, put a nice outfit on. It really can change your whole
Absolutely.
trajectory.
For the day.
For the
Ooh,
day. Isn't it?
trajectory.
I know, don't. I'm just full of words.
I like it.
I get like a new word in my inbox every morning. And usually they're words that I've never heard of. So I'm trying to build my vocab. I just love words because I'm a musician. I'm a songwriter. You're a songwriter. And I don't know. I like to feel smart, even though I'm probably the dumbest person on
That
the
is
planet.
so not true. So not true,
I like
world.
to feel smart.
No.
Okay. Who would you choose? Big question right here.
Ooh.
Who would you choose as a celebrity BFF?
Ooh. Is it musician BFF?
It could be anybody. Just somebody who's famous and that we all kind of know.
It's so difficult.
Kim Kardashian.
I don't know. I think she might be a little mean.
I think so.
Like, can we do a category? I'd say musician
Yeah.
that isn't a worship artist.
Yes.
I love Sarah Bareilles. I
Oh,
love
yeah.
her. I think she is so funny. She's witty. She is always herself without any holes barred. She just is who she is. I just adore her. I definitely think it would be her.
Yeah.
For sure. I